What is Microsoft Power BI? Microsoft Power BI is a collection of software services, apps, and connectors that work together to turn your unrelated sources of data into logical, visually immersive, and interactive insights. Whether your data is a simple flat file, or CSV, or Excel, or a collection of cloud based and on premises hybrid data warehouse like SQL, Dynamics 365, Business Central, SharePoint, Oracle, SAP, etc. Power BI lets you easily connect to your data sources, visualize or discover what's important, and share that with everyone and anyone you want. Why Microsoft Power BI? Microsoft Power BI is trusted by the leaders, and as you can see on the right side, for the Gartner review as of February 2020, it is a leader in business platform. And who can learn the Power BI? For the business professionals and for those who are Power BI developers, data analyst or business analyst, experienced but freshers in data analyst, or college passed freshers. Anybody who wants to learn the Power BI, they can learn the Power BI. History of Power BI. Power BI was conceptualized by Mr. Ruler and Mr. Nates of the SQL Server Coverage Service team at Microsoft, and it was designed by the George in the year 2020, and they named the project as Crescent. In 2011, it was bundled with SQL Server codename Mount McKinley. Later on 24th September, Microsoft has released the first preview of Power BI, but actually they launched it on as an add-on feature with the Microsoft Excel on 24th July 2015 as Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View, and Power Map. There are four parts of Power BI. Actually, you need to design the reports on the Power BI desktop, and then you can publish it on the Power BI service that is online or on your report server that is on premises. In from both of them, you can share the reports to others so that they can view on the mobile devices, laptop, or tablet. There are three parts of Power BI services online and the three kinds of license available here. One is Power BI Pro, Power BI Premium, and Power BI Embedded. Power BI Pro is for the small and medium businesses and self-service and modern BI in the cloud. Those who want to view the reports and those who are developers, everybody needs a license. Power BI Premium is for the large scale industries so that it has given a dedicated cloud compute capacity storage, and you can create n number of users, you can get n number of reports as well. Power BI Embedded is helpful if you have own ERP and you have clients with you and you want to show them the dashboard analytics inside your application, then it will be very helpful for you. Building blocks of Power BI. Everything you do in Microsoft Power BI can be broken down into a few basic building blocks. After you understand these building blocks, you can expand on each of them and begin creating elaborate and complex reports. After all, even seemingly complex things are built from basic building blocks. For example, buildings are created with wood, steel, concrete, and glasses, and cars are made from metal, fabric, and rubber. Of course, buildings and cars can be basic for or elaborate depending on how those basic building blocks are arranged. So let's take a look at these basic building blocks, discuss some simple things that can be built with them, and then get a glimpse into the complex things can also be created. Here are the basic building blocks in Power BI. The first thing is visualization. Visualization is nothing but each and every chart which is represented here. In this example, here we have the cards here, and here the pie chart, here the scattered chart, line chart, and the map visual here. Each and every visuals speaks to us something else and gives an output something else. It's a visualization part. The next thing is a data set. To visualize the data, first of all we need the data. So that's why data sets is also an important factor. The third one is reports, which we need to make the report using the Power BI desktop. And the last one is dashboard and tiles. After publishing the report, we can able to create the dashboards, and each and every tiles here is called the tiles. Each and everything is tiles. One combination of tiles is called a dashboard we can create from Power BI reports. Let's focus on the Power BI desktop now. So views in Power BI desktop. Power BI desktop, once you open this one, on the left side you have three options here. One is a report. In this view you can create reports and visuals where most of the creation time is spent. This highlighted here. The next one is the data. In this view, you can see the table, measures and other data used in the data model associated with your report and transform the data for the best use in the report model. This is how it will look like. And the third one is the model. In this view, you can see and manage the relationship among tables in the data model. There are six main areas in the Power BI desktop. If you are the latest version of Power BI desktop, then this is the interface here. On the top, you will have the ribbon which displays common tasks associated with reports and visualization. This one. The next is the green color here, the canvas area where visualization or charts are created. After that, there are filter pane, which is highlighted in orange, where you can filter data visualizations. The next is yellow highlighted here, which is visualization pane, where you can add or change or customize visualization and apply drill through. On the right side, the gray highlighted is the fields pane, which allows the available fields on your queries or tables. You can drag these fields into the canvas, the filter pane or visualization pane to create or modify the visualization. On the bottom, you have this page tab where you can select, add or remove the report pages. The actual flow of Microsoft Power BI is first to get the data and then transform the data if required, then design the report and publish it to a Power BI service so that everybody can view your reports. The best practice of the Power BI. Experts suggest there are few best practices here. The first thing is try to get the correct data from sources as much as possible, because loading on the Power BI for the calculation, simple things will delay your report and will have performance impact. So try to get correct data from source as much as possible. If not, then you have to use the Power Query Editor, that is data transformation, to shape the data, which runs on the mQuery Power Query formula language, also called data mashup or many things. If here also you can't able to do a few things, then at last you have to use the DAX calculation, which is the functional language of Power BI. How Power BI works? Basically, you will connect your data sources through Power BI desktop. You will make the report, visualization, charts and all, and then you will publish it to your Power BI service to share the reports with others so that they can visualize the data. If the data source is online, the Power BI service will connect directly through online itself. If it is on-premises data, then you need to install the Power BI gateway, and through this Power BI will get access Power BI service and to your data to latest update records. Using the Power BI gateway, Power BI service will access your data from your organization and refresh on the reports. Let's have a look at the architecture of Power BI service. Power BI service is an online software service offering from Microsoft that lets you easily and quickly create self-service business intelligence, reports, dashboards, datasets, and visualizations. With Power BI, you can connect to many different data sources, combine and share data from those connections, then create report and dashboard that can be shared with others. The Power BI service is built on Azure, which is Microsoft Cloud Computing Infrastructure and Platform. The Power BI service architecture is based on two clusters, that is the web front clusters and backend cluster. Let's have a look at the web front end cluster. Web front end, that is WFE, cluster manages the initial connection and authentication process for Power BI using Azure Active Directory to authenticate clients and provide token for subsequent client connection to the Power BI service. When user attempts to connect the Power BI service, the client's DNS service may communicate with the Azure Traffic Manager to find the nearest data center with the Power BI deployment. The web front-end cluster nearest to the user manages to log in and provides the Azure Active Directory token to the user once the authentication is successful. The ASP.NET component within the web front-end cluster traces the request to determine which organization the user belongs to, and they consult the Power BI Global Service. The global service is a single Azure table shared among all worldwide web front-end and backend cluster that maps users and customer organization to the data center that hosts their Power BI tenant. The web front end specifies the browser which backend cluster houses the organization tenant. Once the user is authenticated, subsequent client interactions occur with the backend cluster directly without a web front end being an intermediator for those requests. Now let's have a look at the backend cluster. The backend cluster is now authenticated client interact with Power BI service. The backend cluster manage visualization, user dashboard dataset, reports, data storage, data connection, data refresh, and other aspects of interacting with the Power BI service. The gateway role acts as a gateway between the user request and the Power BI service. Users do not interact directly with any roles other than the gateway roles. Azure API management will eventually handle the gateway role. So these are the things which runs on the backend process, but user doesn't see any of those. Only they can able to access the gateway role, and gateway role will assign the job to other processes. Now let's have a look at the data storage architecture. Power BI uses two primary repositories for storing and managing data. Data that is uploaded from the users is typically sent to Azure Blob Storage. All metadata as well as the artifact for the system itself are stored behind a firewall in Azure SQL database. For example, when a user imports an Excel workbook into the Power BI service, an in-memory analysis services tabular database is created and the data is stored in memory for up to 1 hour or until memory pressure occurs in the system. The data is also sent to Azure Blob Storage. Metadata about the user's Power BI subscription, such as dashboard, report, recent data sources, workspaces, organizational information, tenant information, and other metadata about the system is fully stored and updated in Azure SQL database. All information stored in Azure SQL database is fully encrypted using Azure SQL Transparent Data Encryption technology. All data that is stored in Azure Blob Storage is also encrypted. Power BI data storage and movement. In Power BI service, data is either at rest, data available to a Power BI user that is not currently being acted upon, or it is in process, for example, queries being run, data connections and models being acted upon, or data models being uploaded into Power BI service. Both the data are encrypted. The Power BI service also manages data differently based on whether the data is accessed with a direct query or input. The following table describes Power BI data based on type of query being used. An X indicates the presence of data when using associate query types. There are three kinds of types here. One is schema, raw data, and visual data caching. For import, it stores all the three. For direct, it stores only schema and visual caching. For live connection, it stores only visual caching. DAX. DAX is a data analysis expression. It's a function language used in Power BI. It is similar like Microsoft Excel formulas, but DAX is more powerful than Excel formula. This is a sample example of DAX formula, how we have to write this. There are two types of DAX, DAX column and DAX measure. Let's have a look at the details here. DAX columns are computed during the database processing or table refresh time and then stored in the model, whereas DAX measures, not stored in the database, calculate on the fly, that is query during runtime or user interaction. DAX columns calculate for each row of the table or related table, that is a row context, for each and every row. DAX measures computed aggregate values for many rows in a table, it is query context. DAX column occupies space in memory, that is RAM, whereas DAX measure do not consume RAM, they consume CPU. DAX column is useful if the calculation is complex. DAX measure is useful if the calculation is dynamic. DAX calculation does not depend on user interaction on the report as it is already stored in the database. DAX measure does depend on the user selection in the report or in the shape of the DAX query. DAX column linked with the same table cannot move to different table. DAX measure can move to different table, it will not lose its functionality. DAX column can view the result in the data. DAX measure cannot view result in data, can see after adding in the report. This is a sample formula, how it can be written. There are three kind of contexts in Power BI. One is the row context, query context, and filter context. Row context is Nothing but it calculates for each and every cell of the table. Whereas the query calculation runs on the total query. That is example for the pivot table, it has to run the data. And the filter context is applied on both of the above. That is, if the user makes any filtration on the row context or query context, it is called the filter context. To get the data, go to Home tab, Get Data, and then Excel. Select the file and open. It will open up a window here stating the Excel file name and what are the sheets available inside that file. If you click on any sheet, it will display data on the right side. If you want to load this data, so click here. It will enable this option either to load or transform data. I just want to load here. So if you look at the right side, the data has been loaded here. Sheet name as a table name and the columns here. And if you look at the data tab here, you can able to see the data available inside the table. Now let's go in the data transformation. So on the Home tab, click data transformation. It will open up a new window here. This is called Power Query Editor. On the left side, it has the list of tables. In the center, it is the display data of the table. And on the right side, it has keep the transaction of each and every transaction which we do here. Say for example, if I want to remove these three columns here, I'm just selecting these three columns now. So right click and then remove columns. So it records a row as a column removed. Removed columns. So now I have multiple records here. Say for example, if I want to extract only the product here, so right click here and then add as a new query. So it will add a new query here. So right click again here and remove duplicates. Would extract the data and then right click here. You can able to convert to table or click to table here. Then only you can able to make the relationship between the tables as well as you can use this in visuals. So rename header as product. By doing this way, it also captures the steps taken in the sheet 1 with addition to that. There is another way. Say for example, if I want to make a country as a separate table, so right click and then duplicate. So right click on the country, remove other columns, right click here, remove duplicates and rename the table, right click rename country. And in this step also it has taken all the steps from the source table. Addition to that what we have done here. But whatever we do on these two tables is not going to affect on the sheet 1. Another way is there. So right click here and then reference table. So for example, if you want to make a separate segment here, so remove other columns, remove duplicates. So it gives a separate segment here. If you look at the right side, so it has taken the source here. After that, it has removed the columns here. But the source is the sheet 1. Whatever you do changes in the sheet 1 is going to affect on the segment as well. Say for example, if you want to filter the data in the segment as only government, and if you look at this segment here, it will show only government. Whereas in the country and product, it's not going to affect anything here. What will happen if you filter something here in the reference table is, you filter government here, it's not going to affect any of this here in the sheet 1. Rather, it has added another step here as filtered rows. So remove this one, close and apply. Now let's add relationship between these tables. So go to modeling tab and then manage relationship. So Power BI is such powerful, so it can automatically detect the relationship between the tables. So it has detected that sheet 1 has country, product and segment. So it does the relationship between these three separate tables as well. So click here and edit. On sheet 1 it has selected the country column, and country table it has selected the country column as well. So relationship is one many to one. Now let's create some visuals here. So product and then profit. By default it has created a table visual. If you want to change, you can click on any of the visuals. You can increase or decrease the size here. And if you want to make the sales profit by company and then segment, it can also be done here. And for each and every visual we have this format tab. You can increase or decrease the file size, text size as well. Now let's add some cards here. So click on the cards on the visualization pane. So you can resize here and drag on top of the products here. It has taken as a first text, so you can change it to distinct count. You can copy and paste, Control C and Control V. Country here, then Control V as well, and then segment. You want to make the profit, drag on top of the profit here. This is a profit. So we can add a slices as well. So slicer plays a major role in Power BI. So I'm just dragging and drop the country from the slicer, or segment from the slicer, and I want to change the orientation here to horizontal to look like a button here. So if I click on the enterprise, it gives data of this one. If I click on government, it gives data of this one here as well.